Two people, same city, same year, same starting point. One earns $70,000 a year. The other earns $200,000. I'll tell you right now who retired richer. And I'm willing to bet you already have a feeling. It's not the obvious answer. This is the story of every decision that made the difference. 40 years, 6 choices, 1 outcome. That makes no sense until it makes complete sense. Here's something that should bother you. 36% of Americans earning over $200,000 a year live paycheck to paycheck. I know. Let that actually land for a second. $200,000. Paycheck to paycheck. And it's not just that. 1 in 3 millionaires never earned 6 figures. 79% inherited nothing. And one of the top 5 jobs of millionaires in America is teacher. So, income isn't the variable. Behavior is. Meet Emma. She's 25. She earns $70,000 a year. Nothing special about her income, but she's about to make a series of decisions that most people never do. And meet Jason, also 25, $200,000 a year. By every conventional measure, he's winning. We're going to follow them both for 40 years. Same economy, same markets, very different results. Decision 1. Time. At 25, the same week Emma gets her first real paycheck, she does something almost embarrassingly simple. She sets up an automatic transfer every month. Before she sees the money, it goes somewhere boring, and she forgets about it. That's it. That's decision 1. Jason at 25? Not worried. He's earning $200,000. There's plenty of time to figure out investing. He'll start next year, or the year after, or, eventually. Here's the math behind why that matters. There's a formula called the Rule of 72. It's simple. You take 72, divide it by your annual return, and that tells you how many years it takes your money to double. At 7%, a reasonable long-term average, 10,000 becomes 20, 20 becomes 40, 40 becomes 80, 80 becomes $160,000. And you didn't do anything. You just didn't touch it. Emma invested $120,000 total over her lifetime. By 65, it had grown to roughly $1.4 million. Jason? He eventually got around to it, invested $360,000, 3 times more than Emma, and ended up with about $1.2 million. He put in more money. He got less out. Because the one thing you cannot buy more of is time. 99% of everything built by one of the most successful investors in history was built after age 50. Not because of genius, because of time. Decision 2. The raise trap. A few years in, Jason gets a raise, a good one. And here's what happens. Without him even really deciding to, his spending goes up by almost exactly the same amount. New apartment, better restaurants, nicer clothes, weekend trips, none of it reckless, all of it normal, and all of it invisible. Your salary doesn't build wealth. The gap does. The gap between what comes in and what stays. Emma gets raises too, but she has a rule, almost mechanical about it. Every time her income goes up, half of the increase goes straight to investments. Before she adjusts her lifestyle, before she even thinks about it, her gap keeps getting wider. Jason's gap never really opens up. Decision 3. The house. Jason buys a house, which, look, there's nothing wrong with owning a home. But Jason doesn't just buy a house. He buys the maximum house the bank will let him have. And here's the thing about banks. The bank will tell you exactly what you're allowed to borrow It will never tell you what you can actually afford to keep. Those are two very different numbers. The bank's job is to lend. Your job is to think past the approval letter. Jason's mortgage starts at $2,400 a month. Then property taxes go up, then insurance, then the roof needs replacing. And suddenly that $2,400 is closer to $4,000 every month. For 30 years, Emma buys a house too, a smaller one in a less exciting neighborhood, and she feels slightly boring about it. But that gap she's protecting, that gap keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. Decision 4. The car. The average new car payment in America right now is $770 a month. 1 in 5 Americans is paying over $1,000 a month, and there is $1.6 trillion in outstanding car loans in this country. Jason leases something new every 3 years. It's practical, he says, always under warranty. And honestly, it's just nice to drive something nice, which, fair enough, but fair enough, has a price. $770 a month, invested instead at 7% for 40 years, becomes over $2 million. Emma drives something used and paid off, and she will never, not once, feel bad about that. Decision 5. Fees. 1%. Who fights over 1%? Turns out you should. Here's what 1% costs. Over 40 years. An investment that grows to $2,620,000 in a low-fee index fund becomes $1,990,000 in a fund charging just 1% more per year. That's a difference of $630,000. $630,000 gone quietly every year, a little at a time. That's not a fee. That's a heist in slow motion. And here's the thing that makes it worse. 9 out of 10 professional fund managers fail to beat the S&P 500 over 15 years. Not beat and charge more. Just beat it. Emma is in a low-cost index fund. She has been since day one. She has never once wondered if she should switch. Decision 6. The one that undoes everything else, if you get it wrong. The market drops. It always drops eventually. And when it does, it's ugly. Red screens, scary headlines, that specific feeling, like something has gone permanently wrong. Jason sells. Not everything, but enough. Emma doesn't look. Literally. She set it to automatic. She doesn't check the balance during a crash because she decided years ago that she wouldn't make emotional decisions with patient money. The market has recovered from every single crash in history. Every one. The people who got hurt were the ones who locked in the loss by leaving. 40 years later, Emma, age 65, total invested over her lifetime, $120,000. Retirement balance, approximately $2,600,000. Jason, age 65, total invested, $360,000. Retirement balance, approximately $1,300,000. Jason invested $120,000 more than Emma did and retired with $1,300,000 less. So what was Emma's strategy? What was the big secret? Find the gap. Put it somewhere cheap and boring. Add patience. That's it. That's genuinely it. No stock picks, no market timing, no secret knowledge, just a gap, a cheap place to park it, and time. Emma or Jason? Tag the friend who earns a lot and never has any. Harry makes sense. Finance. Finally making sense.